Hello everyone, I Dr. Sonam Arora, Assistant Professor LG Integrated MBA. Welcome you to the next video session on banker and customer. In our last video session, we discussed about the general relationship between banker and customer. In our previous classes, we discussed about the functions of banking. Now the functions of banking are classified into two parts, primary function and secondary function. Similarly, on the basis of primary function, the relationship between banker and customer is a general relationship which is classified as a creditor to debtor relationship and debtor to creditor relationship. Now, as the function is divided into primary and secondary function, the secondary functions are agency and utility function. Similarly, the relationship based on the secondary function are special relationship. Now have a look at this special relationship. Depending upon the types of services, like the services of trustee, bailee, agent or lessor, and many more, the special relationship are divided. Now the first relationship is of the relationship of a banker as a trustee. When a customer entrusts its valuable items like jewelry, gold and any important paper put into the bank with an intention that such item would be returned on demand to the customer, the relationship becomes of a trustee and trusteer. Customer keeps certain valuables or security with the bank for safekeeping or deposit certain money in a specific account. These type of accounts are called as escrow accounts. The banker in such cases act as a trustee, and for this bank can charge a particular amount. These are the service charges for a bank. Now the second type of relationship is of a bailee. Section 148 of Indian Contract Act 1872 defines the bailment, bailer and bailee. It is a process of delivery of goods by one person to another for a particular purpose upon a contract that when the purpose is completed, these is either returned or otherwise disposed of according to the standing instruction. The person delivering the goods is called the bailer and the person to whom they are delivered is called bailee, and banks secure customer advances in this whole process. Now the third relationship is of the relationship of a lessor. The relationship between the banker and customer is of lessor and lessee. For example, bank open a branch by taking that particular office or land on a lease. In this particular circumstances, the person who give the lease is lessor and banker become the lessee. Whereas when bank give the lease its immovable property to the customer, the bank become lessor and the person become lessee. During the person can or the customer can use such a property, such immovable property in a particular office time or banking hours, and bank can easily able to charge the rental. In this particular scenario, bank can either be lessor or a lessee. Now the next type of function is of agent. Now agent is a person who acts for and on the behalf of its principal. Now bank can collect check, bill and make payment to the various authority on the behalf of its principal. For example, you are living in a rented house and you are having an account in SBI bank. So you give an standing instruction to your SBI bank that every month on the date of 5th you pay this particular amount to the another bank. Now here you are a principal and bank can work as in your agent and follow your standing instruction. On behalf of doing this whole process, bank can charge his service charges from you. The next one is banker work as in custodian. A custodian is a person who acts as a caretaker of something. We can take an example of a demat account. So if you are having a demat account in any bank like Kotak Mahindra Bank, so your securities are put into the Kotak Mahindra Bank. Here the Kotak Mahindra Bank work as in custodian and you work as in principal of that particular custodian. Further, bank also work as a guarantor. Bank give guarantee on behalf of their customers. So if you are having an account in particular bank and you are able to put a very good amount in that particular account, you are a good customer, then bank is able to give guarantee on your behalf. Now guarantee is a contingent contract. It means a contract to do or not to do a particular thing if some event collateral to that contract does or does not happen. It would thus be observed that banker-customer relationship is a transactional relationship here. I also want to put it here that there is no relationship between banker and customer which is a moral relationship. Any relationship between banker and customer is a fiduciary relationship or a contractual relationship. The relationship which is made by law. Now look at the duties of a banker. The relationship between banker and customer depend upon the transaction. It based on the contract with certain terms and conditions. Now there are certain duties which are common for every banker, like duties to honor check. It is a duty of a banker to honor that particular check. This duty can only abide in certain circumstances, like the person who wrote that check is not having sufficient balance. In that condition, the banker have a right to dishonor the check. The second duty is duty to maintain secrecy and confidentiality of its customer. A banker cannot disclose the information related to the amount, to the balance, or the person who are having that particular account. This duty can only abide in circumstances which is related to the national interest. The third one is duty to carry out a standing instruction. It is a duty of a banker to carry out a standing instruction. This duty can only abide when there is no expressed standing instruction is given. For example, I give this standing instruction to my bank to deposit 2000 rupees every month in my daughter's account. Now, this is my standing instruction to give 2000. Now, bank cannot give more than 2000 and less than 2000. So, it is a duty of a banker to follow the expressed standing instruction and in some circumstances implied instruction also. The fourth one is duty to provide proper services. Now, it is duty of a banker to provide proper services to its customer. Now, if we talk about duties, then have a look at the rights of a banker. The first right is a right of a lien. A lien is a right of a creditor in possession of goods, securities, or any other asset belonging to the debtor to retain them until the debt is repaid. For example, you took an education loan from your bank. To taking that education loan, you put your home as a guarantee. Now, it is a right of a banker to use that particular guarantee until and unless you didn't pay the debt. It means the creditor has the right to maintain the security of a debtor. The creditor cannot sell it, but in case of a bankruptcy, creditor can use that guarantee. Here, in the example of an education loan, if you are not able to pay your education loan on time, it is a right of a banker to sell off your property which you put in a guarantee. But till the duration you are in a process of a loan, banker has not right to your property. The second one is right of set off. The banker has a right to set off the account of its customer. It is a right available to a bank to set off a debt owed to him by a creditor from the credit balance held in another account for the borrower. For example, if you are having two different accounts in a same bank and maintaining different balances, you are having an account in SBI Anand Nagar and you are having an account in SBI Kalupur. So, if you are overdraft in one particular account, the bank have this right to set off your first account from the amount in your second account. Now, this is a express or implied condition and bank can use this right to set off its debt. The third right is of right of appropriation. It is a right of the customer to direct his banker against which debt the payment made by him should be appropriated. Now, this is a right of a customer that he has to decide the standing instruction. But in case customer is not using this right, it become a right of a banker to do the appropriation. For here, we took one example. When you take a home loan, the home is of 20 lakh. That is your principal amount. When we add interest on that, it become of nearly 30 lakh, let's say. So, the 20 lakh is principal, 10 lakh is interest and the combined amount is 30 lakh. When you pay the EMI, you have to decide it that out of that EMI, which percentage is of your principal and which is your interest. So it will be helpful for a bank to understand your appropriation. In case you didn't give any such standing instruction, it is up to bank to how he decide your EMI. He first cover your principal or interest or both, or if both, then in what ratio. So it is a right of a bank. If there is no expressed appropriation, then bank can use his own right to do an appropriation. Now the last one is right to charge interest, commission and other services charges. Banker has this implied right to charge for services rendered and sold to customer. Bank can charge interest on amount advance, processing charges, charges for non-utilization of credit facilities. Even bank can charge you if you are not able to maintain minimum balance in your account. Now this minimum balance concept is not applicable on no-frill accounts. Now we already discussed about the duties and right. Now look at in which circumstances the relationship between banker and customer ends. So the relationship between banker and customer ends if the customer insolvent, become lunatic or not exist anymore. The second, when the customer close the account. So the voluntary termination is a way in which the relationship between banker and customer end. So in this way you will not remain any existing customer, you become the previous customer. The third one is if you are having a current account and maintain an account for a company, in case of liquidation of the company, that particular relationship ends there. The next one is the closing of the account by the bank after giving due notice. If you are not a valuable customer, you are always go for default. In that circumstances, even bank can close your account by giving you a proper and due notice. And the last one, if you are in a special relationship, the relationship of a leaser and leasee, bailer, and the relationship of a trustee. In that circumstances, if your contract is completed, then your transaction completed, then you can also go for a cease of particular relationship. It means either in case of death or the completion of a particular task, the relationship between banker and customer completed. In this way, we completed our module 2 here. I hope you are learning well. In our next session, we will go and start with our insurance module. Keep learning. Thank you.